Welcome back to Fascinating History. Today we'll discuss the legacy of one of Rome's worst emperors, Emperor Commodus. History is replete with tales of ruthless tyrants, but few match the infamy of Emperor Commodus. His reign is a chilling saga of outrageous behavior that earned him the disdain of his people and a place in the annals of history. Picture this: Commodus, the Roman emperor, declaring himself the reincarnation of the legendary Hercules and boldly stepping into the arena as a gladiator. It was a time when gladiators were hailed as heroes by the common folk, but the Roman elite saw them as mere entertainment provided by enslaved lower-class fighters. So, what really transpired during the reign of Commodus? Buckle up for a journey into the intriguing world of one of ancient Rome's most controversial emperors. Empire in Turmoil: The Legacy of Marcus Aurelius. Our story begins in March 180 AD, in a land now known as Vienna. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a philosopher king, took his last breath. His duty was to safeguard the Roman Empire's frontiers along the Danube River. As history tells it, Marcus had his reservations about his son's upbringing, but he ensured a relatively peaceful transition of power. Now, let's delve into the turbulent era of Emperor Commodus, a time when the Roman Empire stood at the crossroads of history, and the fate of an entire civilization hung in the balance. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below and tell us what historical topics you'd like us to explore next. A unique heir to the Roman Empire. In the year 180 AD, a pivotal moment in Roman history unfolded. With the backing of the legions stationed along the empire's borders, Commodus established himself as the sole emperor of Rome. What made this moment truly extraordinary was the fact that he was the first biological son to inherit the imperial throne since the time of Titus, son of Vespasian. Moreover, Commodus was the first heir who had been meticulously groomed for the role of emperor. The weight of this responsibility was not lost on Commodus. He understood the historical significance of his rise to power. In a speech attributed to him by the historian Herodian, though its authenticity remains debated, Commodus sought to underscore his uniqueness before a gathering of warriors and courtiers stationed at the border. Join us as we delve into the intriguing tale of Commodus, a ruler who stood at the crossroads of history, carrying the legacy of an empire on his shoulders. A surprising departure from his father's legacy. In the shadow of his illustrious father, who is often celebrated for his effective rule, Commodus's reign took a markedly different path, one marred by violence. Despite his many other flaws, Commodus lacked the inclination for combat, a striking contrast to the militaristic traditions of the Roman Empire. However, the motivations behind his pursuit of peace may not have been entirely noble. Historians concur that the new emperor fell under the influence of a cadre of sycophants and favorites who lured him back into the pleasures of Rome. In doing so, he seemed to swiftly lose interest in furthering his father's vision. Meanwhile, across the vast empire, critical issues demanded attention. From the challenging conflicts in Dacia, now part of Romania once conquered by Trajan, to the complexities in Britain, the challenges were mounting. As turmoil brewed, two potential contenders for the imperial throne, Claudius Albinus and Pescennius Niger, seized the opportunity during the Dacian campaign of AD 183. However, both ultimately found themselves unable to overcome the indomitable Septimius Severus when the time for confrontation arrived. Join us as we unravel the intricacies of Commodus's rule, a time of paradoxical peace and upheaval in the Roman Empire, where power struggles and shifting allegiances reshaped the course of history. Emperor Commodus's shocking gladiator obsession. In the annals of history, few obsessions have left a more scandalous mark than that of Emperor Commodus. His fixation with gladiatorial combat during his rule in ancient Rome appalled and astonished many. Picture this: the ruler of one of history's mightiest empires donning the attire of a gladiator and entering the arena, not as a spectator, but as a participant in brutal battles. Commodus didn't just observe from the safety of his imperial box, he plunged into the blood-soaked sands, often confronting opponents already injured or inexperienced. He genuinely believed himself to be the reincarnation of the Roman god Hercules, using these grisly contests to affirm his divine status. His action shook the very core of Roman tradition, defying the dignity and decorum expected of an emperor. In staged gladiatorial matches, he faced both willing and coerced adversaries, typically emerging victorious thanks to his vast power and resources. However, these events weren't about skill or competition. They were a manifestation of Commodus's insatiable thirst for attention and validation. Join us as we journey through the astonishing life of Commodus, a ruler who pushed the boundaries of power, identity, and spectacle in ancient Rome. His tale is a testament to the extremes human obsession can reach. Commodus Unleashed, the macabre theater of power. As Commodus's obsession with gladiatorial combat deepened, the spectacles that unfolded in ancient Rome became increasingly extravagant and grisly. He pushed the boundaries of brutality by pitting himself against the wildest of adversaries, including lions, tigers, and even colossal elephants. Reality blurred with macabre entertainment as the Colosseum, the very symbol of Rome's grandeur, bore witness to some of the most shocking spectacles in history. Imagine this scene: Emperor Commodus, in all his imperial splendor, personally engaging in mortal combat with exotic animals, his every move playing out before vast crowds. It was a horrifying display that transcended the boundaries of entertainment, and countless lives, both human and animal, were recklessly sacrificed in the name of one man's amusement. This extreme cruelty towards life, both human and beast, stands as a dark testament to the depths of Commodus's depravity, where the lines between power and madness become perilously thin. Commodus and the web of conspiracies. While the Roman Empire enjoyed a semblance of internal peace, turmoil festered on its frontiers. As emperor, Commodus had to contend with a series of plots and conspiracies that seemed to emerge as swiftly as he ascended to power. His rule was dogged by political intrigue from the very start. In the year 182, his eldest sister, the influential Augusta Lucilla, and a faction of notable senators conspired to stage an insurrection against the emperor. Their audacious plot included an assassination attempt on Commodus while he was at the theater. However, as if drawn from the pages of a classic thriller, the assassin's incoherent speech foiled the element of surprise. Commodus's quick-thinking bodyguards swiftly neutralized the bungling assassin, thwarting the plot. Yet, the near-miss incident forever shattered the emperor's relationship with the Senate. The most influential figures in the empire, whether loyal or not, were viewed with suspicion and hidden from the public eye. In the aftermath, even the well-bred Quintilii brothers fell victim to the retaliatory purges. Their splendid villa along Rome's Via Appia in the southwest was seized by the emperor. These purges ushered in a new era, where fresh faces were given the opportunity to assume positions of power beside Commodus. Among them, the most notorious was a former slave named Cleander, who ascended to become the commander of the Praetorian Guard, the imperial bodyguard. To consolidate his own power, Cleander offered government and military positions for sale, further complicating the intricate web of Roman politics. Despite moments of relative peace, Commodus couldn't escape the brewing storm of public unrest. In the year 190, Rome found itself gripped by a severe food shortage, and the blame was firmly laid at the feet of Cleander, the prefect of the Annona. As chaos erupted during a particularly violent chariot race at the Circus Maximus, Cleander, realizing the gravity of the situation, had to flee for his life, seeking refuge with Commodus in the quiet town of Lanuvium. It was in Lanuvium that the destiny of both Cleander and the emperor would collide. Commodus, known for his indecisiveness, faced a pivotal moment. Fueled by the influence of Marcia, with whom he was having an affair, he made a fateful decision. Cleander and his child were condemned to death. Far in the northern reaches of Britain and Gaul, rumblings of discontent were brewing within the Roman army. As turmoil unfolded in these distant lands, a group of disenchanted soldiers made a daring choice: to defect from the ranks of the mighty Roman legions. These regions, both in Gaul and Britain, became the epicenter of defiance. The climax of this rebellion arrived when a charismatic outlaw by the name of Maternus emerged as the rallying point for the disaffected troops. Under his leadership, a courageous band conspired in an audacious plot to assassinate Commodus, the reigning emperor. Maternus was the mastermind behind the plan, driven by the conviction that a corrupt and wicked monarch should not go unchallenged. In the turbulent era of Emperor Commodus, one of the most chilling and sinister chapters was the relentless execution of senators and political figures. This harrowing piece in Roman history bore witness to the emperor's arbitrary accusations, convictions, and executions of numerous individuals, often on the flimsiest of pretexts. Commodus's reign began with a glimmer of hope, as he was the son of the esteemed emperor Marcus Aurelius. However, that hope quickly faded, replaced by a growing despair as his true nature was laid bare. Deep-seated grudges against the Roman Senate, stemming in part from his belief that they had conspired against him during his father's rule, became the bedrock for his brutal actions. These executions transpired with little concern for justice or fairness. Senators and high-ranking officials found themselves accused of conspiracy, treason, or simply falling out of favor with the erratic emperor. Trivial offenses, such as making sarcastic remarks or failing to applaud loudly enough at public events, were used as grounds for accusations. In many cases, Commodus wove elaborate tales to justify his actions, using his unbridled power to quell any hint of opposition. The legacy of fear. Commodus's impact on Rome. The consequences of Commodus's relentless executions reached far beyond the blood-soaked Senate chambers. They reverberated through the very foundations of the Roman Republic, where the Senate had long been a bastion of power and governance. Yet the Senate's hallowed halls turned into halls of fear. Members of the Senate lived in constant dread of Commodus's unpredictable whims, and the political atmosphere descended into a maelstrom of paranoia and betrayal. Survival demanded unwavering loyalty to the emperor, binding the senators to a fate of subservience, further eroding their once proud independence and authority. But the fallout of Commodus's actions weren't confined to the Senate alone. The ripple effect spread throughout the Roman Empire. The Senate had been an integral part of the Roman political system, and its erosion weakened the empire's ability to govern itself effectively. The loss of experienced and skilled senators, whether through execution or self-imposed exile, created a void in the empire's leadership. With the Senate in disarray, the emperor's word became law, even when it defied reason or humanity. As you reflect on the enigmatic figure of Commodus, consider the profound implications of his reign. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the subscribe button for more captivating insights. Until next time,